Hello, we are Chris and Jennifer Wemhoff, and we have been asked to talk about stewardship. We have been married for 25 years and have two college-age sons, Peter and Zach. We've also been members of OLV for the past 20 years.
How many of you have ever witnessed a toddler, when playing with another, proclaim, "No, that's mine," and snatch the toy away from their playmate? And oftentimes we'll hear an adult encourage the toddler to share. We learn at a very early age about the concept of mine and that sharing can be difficult at times. Stewardship is not only about sharing, but recognizing that all we have, our time, talent, and resources, are gifts from God. From Proverbs chapter 11, verses 24 to 25. One man gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. A liberal man will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered.
God's gifts to us are many, including our financial well-being, but also our talents, and He's given both of us quite a few. It's one thing to give 10% of your income to the church, as described in the Old Testament by Moses. Not only did God call us to give 10%, but give our best 10%. Thus, when it comes to our talents, God is looking for the best of what we can give. I have looked to be an active part of our community in a number of different ways. For example, when we lived in Virginia, I was a member of the choir. Now, I serve at Mass by being a Eucharistic minister and lector. I've continued to share the teachings of the church through my involvement in RCIA and faith formation. I've headed our parish service day called Parishioners Helping Parishioners, and we've also tried to expose our sons as we've served in those different ministries, such as having them help with Parishioners Helping Parishioners, or helping them teach faith formation. God has given us all different talents, as St. Paul describes in the 1 Corinthians chapter 12. There are different kinds of spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different forms of service, but the same Lord. There are different workings, but the same God who produces all of them in everyone. Take an inventory of the talents God has given you. Are you using those according to God's plan? As you think about how you might share your talents, you should also think about how you share your treasure.
The first year of our marriage, Chris was working 2 part-time jobs, and I was working 1 part-time job while we were both attending college full-time. We were trying to live very frugally so that we could pay our bills and still try and save a little for an emergency fund. One weekend, while at Mass, when the collection basket was passed, Chris put in $10, and this was not something we had discussed ahead of time. After Mass, I had a discussion with Chris about how I did not think it was in our best interest at the time to be giving to the church. 25 years ago, $10 would have paid for over half of our weekly grocery bill. Chris told me that God had blessed him with the ability to work hard and earn that money, and that he was only giving back what was God's already. I had a hard time arguing with that, but it was still a process for me to get as committed as Chris was. I didn't object to donating money, I just didn't think that was the right time for us. I was still in that toddler phase, and I didn't want to share.
Working with God on finances is hard, but for us, we've tried to start with something, then work on increasing what we can give over time. First, we tried to live within our means and make sure we had what was needed before spending on extras like vacations or an RV. This included regular giving to our church wherever we were located and increasing that as we were blessed with a raise or a bonus. Not only have we supported the parish, but we also looked at charities outside of our church community and helped with monetary donations, whether it be through our place of employment or directly to our favorite charity. Although this giving has made us wait on a new vehicle or some gadget we may want, It has provided us with a peace and satisfaction in our lives. Our return to God of the gifts he has given us is a first priority instead of something further down the list. Remember what Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, "For where your treasure is, there also will your heart be."
Over the years, I have come to appreciate that action on Chris's part to begin our journey into stewardship of our resources. We aren't perfect in our giving, and there are many times I am anxious about money. The scripture from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5, helps me to be less anxious about money. Let your life be free from love of money, but be content with what you have, for he has said, "I will never forsake you or abandon you." We continue to pray about our financial giving and strive to do what God is calling us to do with our treasure. I'm reminded of a joke that I heard. A chicken and a pig were admiring a billboard that displayed various breakfast items served at a restaurant. And some of the platters included eggs and bacon, ham and eggs, and sausage and eggs. The chicken says to the pig, "Hey, look at that! Doesn't it make you feel proud that they're promoting our products?" And the pig says, "It's easy for you to say. You're only involved. But for me, it's a total commitment." How committed are we to making God the center of our financial lives? We invite you to pray about the treasure in your life. Is God calling you to be like the pig, to be totally committed in what you decide to give back to God?